Welcome to another conversation with the Brothers of Two Complex. We appreciate y'all for clicking on this video, but before we get into the content, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click that notification bell so you don't miss any of the bangers that we drop every single week. Enjoy the video. We appreciate the support.
Shaunie Henderson, better known as Shaunie O'Neal, got a lot of blowback last week with the release of her memoir, Undefeated, Changing the Rules and Winning on My Own Terms. That went on sale last week. In it, Shaunie writes, "Looking back, I don't know that I was ever in love with the man." Naturally, this drew criticism, even getting a response the next day from Shaq saying, "I understand. I wouldn't love me either." Sticks, how do you feel about this admission from Shaunie in her book?
So, I got to kind of watch how I talk about this topic because of my old lady. I don't know how she feel about this when you have a conversation about this, but I hope that she is, I hope that I know my lady enough to know that she would understand why I feel the way I feel about this. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And if you're watching, babe, this is just how I feel. We can have a conversation. Now, first of all, shout out to Shaq for taking accountability for the things that he did, because he had said in his book that he was out here wilding. He did say in his book that he was out here wilding during his marriage with Shaunie. And Shaunie did put up with a lot of things that she shouldn't have had to put up with. You know what I'm saying? From your husband, from the father of your kids, this, that, and the third. Here's where I fall on this. What you marry him for? What you had 3 kids with him for? If you ain't love this man. What is the real reason, Shaunie, why you married him? Because we all know Shaq as the most dominant player, which I got something to say about that too, but we'll get to that in a little bit. We all know Shaq as one of the most, undisputedly the most dominant player in NBA history. Mm-hmm. Multiple championships, $1 million contracts, MVPs, NBA championships. Shaq is the most undisputed, undeniably the most dominant basketball player in the history of the NBA. I'm tiptoeing a little bit, D-Lo, but I'm trying to find the words. But why did you marry this man then? Because if you ain't love him, why did you marry him? Why did you even put yourself in position to be married to Shaquille O'Neal? Not only that, why did you put yourself in position to have 3 kids with this man? What was it for? I think we probably know. But what was it for, though, Shaunie? Like, you said you didn't love him, but you didn't say why you married him. Because that information would probably paint you in a negative light. Mm-hmm. Like, that's the thing I don't understand is that, and then not to mention he put you in position to have successful businesses, basketball wives, things of that nature, to where you can strive and survive on your own, because you ain't have all this before you married Shaq. So what's the reason then? Not only did he put you in these positions, he took your son that you had prior to y'all getting married and took him in as your own. He called Shaq his dad and gave him the last name O'Neal too. So why you marry him if you ain't love him? I think we all know the answer to that. But D-Lo, how do you feel, bro?
I have issue with this. It always seems like women. I hate that we have to tiptoe, but I'm not going to tiptoe. It always seems like some women. It always seems like women in this position become famous after attaching their name to a man of status, and they do things like this. They go out, start a business. As you mentioned, she executive produced Basketball Wives when it first came out. She was the spearhead of that. She has other ventures that have come with this, and then once they get their money, once they become successful, shit like this comes out where they just, I don't think I ever loved him, or he was this, he was that. And notice, I'm not saying that they didn't do the hard work to maintain the business. I'm not saying that they
sure.
didn't do anything to keep the business afloat, and they're not the reason that the business is successful. I'm not saying that the women should have stuck around with the men as they were doing all of the dirt that they were doing. As you said, Shaq admitted to his infidelities in their marriage and whatnot. I'm not saying she should have stuck around with that. But when you say stuff like, I don't think I ever was in love with the man, that makes you seem like a gold digger.
For sure.
Point blank, period.
Point blank,
period. And she came out after all of this and she said, there is some validity to what she said. We probably need to actually read the book to get more context into
for sure
what she actually meant by that statement and the message she was trying to convey by saying this. But she said, my book is my truth. And when I was talking to my friend yesterday, I was like, developing an opinion and a comment from content with no context will show you a lot of people's intelligence and unintelligence, right? There was no context to just that one quote that I said. And I think that sadly, people are taking my words out of context.
No, we're not.
Hold on. I'm a words girl. I'm not a words girl. I'm a character girl. And since I've left the marriage from Shaquille, my character has spoken for himself. You're a words girl, but you say stuff like this in a book that you're trying to sell to people. You're not a words girl, but you say stuff like this in a book that you're trying to sell to people. Let's be serious here, Shaunie. Realistically, you should be able to proofread that and say, now, is this really what I want to say?
Exactly.
Because it don't, being that you were married to Shaq for 9 years, being that you were in this position of understanding how clickbait works, especially in today's day and age, you should know that anything that you put in a book of this magnitude or that you say in an interview is going to be clickbait number one or excerpt number one from that book, from that interview, and people are going to spin it how they want to spin it. So you should have never said that, period. Now, if you feel that way, you feel that way.
For sure.
You should, that's not something you should be saying publicly or writing in a book, because people are going to naturally say, oh, well, you divorced Shaq, you got half of his money. He paid $100,000 a month for child support and $5 million a year until you got married or until you got the equivalent of $100 million. And then you say you never loved him. That makes you look like a gold digger. It just makes you look crazy, man. I'm sorry. And I always defend women. I defend women, but in this one, I can't. This is indefensible. I can't defend that statement. No matter how you try to spin it, no matter what else you said behind it, that you were in love with being with the man that you had kids with and building a future with, you, all that's fine and well. But you said you were never in love with him. How you think the man's supposed to feel? How you think the public is supposed to take that?
Exactly how people are taking it. They're taking it exactly how they're supposed to take it, because just like D-Lo said, it makes you sound like a gold digger. It literally makes you sound like a gold digger. It makes you sound like you only married this man because you knew he was a superstar. To say that you never means before you met him. Never means like legit. Before you met him, while you was with him, while you was pushing them babies out, while you was in this marriage with him, the whole nine. Saying that you never loved him is a crazy statement to make, knowing who Shaq is and knowing that what you became during this marriage, knowing that what you've gained after it, knowing that what Shaq has done, even though he's done his dirt. We're not saying that Shaq is devoid of accountability. We're not saying that, but
and he's taking accountability for it, like you said.
He is 100%. He's taking accountability for it. But it's one of those things where it's one. Go ahead. Oh, let me finish. It's one of those things where, and I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna stand on it, D-Lo. It's one of those things where what Shaq did is indefensible, but this statement is worse than that to me, bro. To me, this statement is worse than that, dog. Because yes, Shaq was he was out there in them streets, but to say that you never loved him, that's worse to me. That's worse, bro. I wouldn't have took this the same way Shaq did. Me personally, I wouldn't have took this the same way Shaq did. If I would have did my dirt and I was cheating and I admitted to it, cool. But for me to hear, how long have they been divorced? I can't even remember. But they got
divorced in 2000. 2009, almost 10 years. I want to say more than 10 years. I want to say.
Okay, so I'm gonna look.
They were married 9 years. I don't know time frame. I think they got married in 2011. So they got married in 2002. I want to say, and then they were married 9 years. So 2011 is when they got divorced.
2011. You're right. Yeah. You're right. 2011. So I don't think I would have felt the same. I don't think I would have handled this the same way Shaq did. Honestly, if I would have heard 13 years later that you never loved me, I would have. I would have felt.
I mean, what could you do though?
There's nothing you can do, but that it would piss me off. And behind closed doors, probably Shaq is probably like, well, goddamn. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But since he's such a public figure, he has to handle it in a certain way, which I respect. But I wouldn't have handled it the same way. Because I wear my emotions on my sleeve, bro. Like, I'm going to tell you how I feel. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm going.
But you probably wouldn't do it publicly, though.
I wouldn't. If she did it publicly, I probably would, to be spiteful, if I'm being real. But I'm not a spiteful person, so I don't think I would. I don't know. But I think it would. I think me personally, I would feel I would feel a lot more hurt than what Shaq is showing.
Yeah.
And I think I might show it a little bit more than what Shaq is. Yeah. But I respect Shaq for the way he's handling it. But me personally, bro, I would be like, dog, that's insane. Like, really? I probably wouldn't even put out the tweet that Shaq put out. I'll probably put out just the word "really" with a bunch of question marks. Really?
Yeah. I mean,
you know what I'm saying? Like, that's probably all I would say, and then let people, decode it from there. But at the same time, it's like, bruh, that would have hurt me. I ain't gonna lie, that would have hurt me.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it wouldn't have hurt. That's not what I'm saying. I just question really what would me or any of us going basically back and forth with somebody that we divorced 13 years ago prove that they're the one, they're the one that's looking crazy right now.
For sure.
Well, to the public, they're looking crazy. Maybe to them, it is what it is. Like I said, she got half his wealth, even though his wealth has increased since the divorce as well. But she got half his wealth. She got money, and she's married again. So, I mean, but I don't know. It's hard to say how you would feel until you're in that situation. I tend to think I would be like Shaq, but again, I don't know. I don't know.
I was just doing the math in my head, but because you said that her settlement was $100K per month of child support,
$100K per month for child support. She got $5 million a year until she was
$100 million or got married.
Yes.
Okay. So I think she just got married to this new guy, the pastor. I think last year. I think. And okay, so she didn't do what I thought she did, because in my mind I'm like, it's been 13 years. Okay, she didn't do that. Like, I thought she, didn't waited that 20 years out until she got that $100 million, but she didn't do that. Okay, respect, Shaunie, I guess. Yeah, but you still got $65 million though. You ain't doing the math around here, too complex. But at the same time. It's been a couple of reports too that her now current husband is kind of shady too, but we're not gonna talk about him because he ain't a part of this. But I'm just saying what the public saying. I'm saying what the public saying. But yeah, man,
they said it, not us.
They said it, not us. We ain't said that.
We would never.
They said that. I did though. But nah, I shout out to Shaq, man, because. Talking through this with my boy D-Lo, it made me realize that I'm a lot more sensitive than I thought I was, because I wouldn't have handled this like Shaq. I would have been a lot more emotional. But just like D-Lo said too, what can we do? It's been 13 years. What can we really do? What can we really say that would change anything? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing we can say, nothing we can do. So fuck it, really. But Shaunie is out here looking real dumb, and people are looking at her like, okay, now you was a gold digger. You was a gold digger. Because that statement is crazy. Oh,
it's crazy.
But the statement shows that was her plan all along.
I don't think. That is the perception. I don't think that was her plan. I'm hoping that wasn't her plan. But yeah, it's definitely the perception now. It's like, yo, this is what your end goal was, to do all this,
because you marry a man that you don't love, You had one kid out of wedlock, so did he. Y'all brought that together. Okay, cool. You married a man that you don't love, and then proceeded to have 3 more kids with a man that you don't love.
Mm-hmm.
That has gold digger written all over it, bro.
You can't, but that happens all the time, though, right? Like, take the money out of it. Women have babies with men that they don't love all the time. It just happens.
But 9 times out of 10, they're not married, D-Lo.
I get that. No, I understand that. But I'm saying women have kids, men have kids with individuals they don't love all the time. So I mean, that's not
okay.
To me, that's not a factor of saying, you not loving him. I just think,
Okay, well, I'll leave it at this. If you didn't love him, then why did you marry him in the first place? I'll just leave it at that.
I'll just leave it at that. That's
I'll just leave it at that. But it does look even crazier that you married a man that you didn't love and then proceeded to have 3 kids with him. That does look even crazier.
It does look even crazier. I'm not saying I don't disagree with you, but I'm playing devil's advocate here.
Like, you don't agree.
No, I do agree. I'm not saying that. You got me confused.
You said that I'm not saying that I don't disagree. That's why, you said I'm not saying.
Yeah, I'm saying that. I'm saying that I'm not saying that I'm not in agreement. Agreeing with you. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not saying. Right.
Yeah. No. Yeah. For sure.
But I'm playing devil's advocate. Like, this happens all the time. People have babies that they don't love the other person. It's just something happened. But 3 times is crazy. Though, I will say you do have a point with that. 3 times is crazy, but I mean, if you marry, you might as well, right?
But why marry him in the first place if you don't love him?
So there you go. That's
what we need to stay. That's what we need to stay at. We need to keep it right there. But yeah, this story is wild. This story is wild because I hope to God, and you know what? I'm not even gonna say that. I'm not even gonna say it because that's gonna make somebody mad. I'm not saying that. Oh, you think I love you? Nah, I'm not gonna say that.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want to be in this situation because I would be emotional. Because I took like Too Complex family. Y'all know I wear my heart on my sleeve, and y'all gonna know exactly how I feel about a lot of things. I would be emotional, and I wouldn't say I would lash out at her, but I would talk my shit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I would have handled this like Shaq. Just being real.
Yeah.